May I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Tristan Eaton, and I'm a painter based here in Los Angeles.
How long have you been doing art?
I've been making art my whole life. You know, since I was like 5 years old, it was all I ever did. And pretty young, I realized I was pretty good at it. And shortly after that, it just became my obsession. It's all I've ever done, all I've ever wanted to do.
What do you feel has been the most important, influential art that you've accomplished?
Easy question to answer. The most important work that I feel like I've done is the large-scale public mural work, because it has the ability to shape, influence, and define communities. So a painting like this you might see in a gallery or someone's house, that's it. But the public mural work, there's no admission fee, and it's there for everyone. And for all the young artists that are out there that see that, it's a reminder to them that there's no limit, there's no holds barred on what you can do with your creativity. So the public mural work to me is by far the most important thing, and it's also the hardest thing.
Do you get much negative feedback because of your political views through art?
That's a tough question to answer because the answer is long. But the truth is, it depends what kind of work I'm doing, because I'm a painter, I'm a muralist, and I sometimes do projects with brands. I've done projects with Versace and Hublot and like these cool big brands, but that's not the forum for my political viewpoints. And sometimes neither is the mural work, because with the mural work, a project that's a 10-story mural might cost $80,000 just to execute, just for the production. And with that kind of work, rarely is the client or the owner of that building gonna want a divisive work of art. So you have to be treading very carefully with the large-scale public works and what kind of political views you bring to the table. Not that you can't, but I have a different agenda with the public mural work than I do in like my private personal paintings. I feel like with the public mural work, a lot of what I want to do is bring people together and unite people and bring more of a positive message. And the truth about art is that, art isn't a democracy, art is a dictatorship. Each great artist in history, it's been that artist saying, this is what I believe great art is, and forcing it on the world. So there's some tyranny to art. And in my personal opinion, with public mural work, I don't want to be a tyrant. I don't want to be forcing my work on people who aren't welcome to it. I feel like with the public mural work, I'm trying to like win people over and bring people into my world and unite people. And the kind of work I do is very elaborate and detailed. I call it maximalism, and I want the work to function on the surface level when someone drives by at 20 miles an hour and they see just the visual imagery and the colors and the composition. I want it to work on that level with that first gut instinct of reaction. But then further than that, I also want it to work when someone spends more time with it and investigates further to find out the story behind it. So sometimes upon further investigation is where I can kind of like draw you in and tell a deeper story and discuss more of these kind of charged issues that are facing communities today. But with my personal work, I feel like that's where my free speech and my real viewpoint can really shine. So you have to be very careful and choose your battles, because every forum isn't the same as the next one.
What is your favorite thing about Los Angeles and least favorite thing about Los Angeles?
All right, so what I don't like about LA is that it's a very suburban city, all right? You're in a car all the time. You're commuting. People are very segregated into their little bubbles, and there isn't the kind of like human to human interaction like there is in New York City. And in New York and in London, you get the real feeling that you're in the melting pot of culture. And I think there's something really important about that proximity to your fellow mankind. Okay, I think when you're sitting on Broadway by Union Square and you see transvestites, black people, Asian people, white people, Indian people, Pakistani people, all walking down the street, all laughing, all talking, all living their lives just the way you are, I think you get a sense of like, we're all in this together, you know, like everyone has to pay rent. Everyone's trying to figure it out. No one's really better than anyone else. And that kind of human interaction gives you that. I think that that's so valuable, man. But I wish there's more of that here in LA. And the only time you get that is like, you know, go to the mall for Christmas shopping or something, you know? Right. So what I love about LA is what I love about most cities, which is like the subcultures of LA. You know, I love the graffiti community of LA. The graffiti writers in LA are some of the best on the planet. And, you know, the lowrider car culture here, the tattoo culture here, and the teething creative body of people in LA who are here to make film, tell stories, and create art that will influence the world, that comes out of this city. So, you know, you put all those kinds of people in a bag and shake it up, and you're gonna have a crazy city, man. So for me, on a business level, what's good for me about Los Angeles, making the kind of artwork I do, is that a lot of people who grew up in the 80s, like I did, who grew up on the same things that influenced my art, are now pop stars and filmmakers and people who are my age who can afford paintings. So they want art that is inspired by what they grew up on and what they love. Right. So I now have, luckily, people that are just like me who are in influential positions to be able to buy art, who want artwork like I'm making. And that's a unique kind of pool of people here in LA that support my kind of art.